What's up, guys? Oh my god. Maybe I shouldn't yell so much. How's it going, everybody? Maybe I'm still freaking yelling. Let's turn that down a little bit. All right. Hopefully everyone's well. You know, it's 4th of July week. And yeah, here we are this fine Thursday. I always think it's Thursday. It's not Thursday anymore. It's Monday. Let's play some America music and put some fireworks on. Oh, do you salute with your right hand all the time? Seeing as I wasn't a military man, I don't know. Tyler, you're the only person chatting here. Where's everyone at? And if, I don't know, you guys might have noticed, I don't really have anything planned. There's nothing in the description. There's stuff in the description. There's nothing in the title of this. You can make a thumbnail, you know. I don't really have much planned today. So we're just going to hang out and talk about paintball stuff. And it's the 4th of July, so hopefully everybody doesn't live where it's 150 outside and you can actually do something this 4th of July weekend. Should we just keep looping this? It'll probably get a little annoying though, huh? Should I just stand? I should just stand this like this the whole live stream. We'll just see how long it go. Anyway, how's everyone doing this fine, you know, Monday? I already said that. I don't know. Yep. I don't know. I'm not doing anything for the 4th of July. Hopefully some of you guys got some stuff planned. It's going to be 114 outside that day, I think. So I'm not going anywhere. Thankfully, tomorrow, though, we get to go to the coast. I'm going to go get in the ocean. That should be nice. Where's everybody at? Let me know where you're at. Tyler, you're driving back from Canada. Hopefully you're not too far. I mean, that's a hell of a drive for me, so let's turn that off. We don't have to listen to freaking bugle music anymore. The Bugle Boys. Where's everyone? Nashville? All right, Nashville's cool. I mean, everywhere's hot as shit right now. I think about the weather everywhere, and it's like hot everywhere. We got Chris in Chicago. Jose repping, I was going to say Puerto Rico for some reason. Pennsylvania, Brandon in North Carolina. You guys are all over the place. I kind of like it. New Jersey, Montreal, Sac Roots. Good afternoon. Montreal, North Virginia, and Primmit Hills. Oh, nice, cool. Seattle's probably not hot. New Orleans is hot. We talk about the weather. It's 103 outside. Lincoln, Nebraska. I think we've talked about that link before. I had a bunch of family from Lincoln, Nebraska. Yeah, we've talked about that maybe. It's come up. I know I've talked about it. What is the best beginner woods ball gun? You know, I don't know. I don't like to classify, really, I think, woods ball and non-woods ball. You know, because they're all just paintball guns. It's not like one's going to work better in the woods or worse in the woods or whatever. So anything that's, you know, just a good entry-level paintball gun. Like Link here says, the EMAC. Yeah, most people are going to probably see the EMAC. It just kind of matters what you want to spend, you know. The EMAC's $300. So if you want to get something a little cheaper, I think your best option certainly is Tippmann's. I'd probably say Tippmann Kronos. You got the Stormer. The Kronos or the Stormer, those are probably the two least expensive paintball guns. Then probably the Planet Eclipse EMAC is double the price, but literally like 10 times better or something like that. Cameron says a Nova. I don't know if I'm going Nova yet. South Africa, Brandon's from. Well, hello from, you know, way over there. Phil says clear, yellow, or HD lenses for woods. I don't know. It kind of depends on who you are, you know. I probably lean more towards some of the HD or clear lenses. I don't really like how the yellow lenses just make everything yellow. So I kind of just prefer regular looking lenses. So I'm probably just going to go clear ones, honestly. Grandpa, born and raised in Lincoln, Nebraska. Mine too. My grandfather would have been 100 years old yesterday, though. He's dead. It's cheap only reason. Nova. Sure, I don't like have a lot of new experience with any of those new Novas, so I don't even know. Man, normally I have something to talk about, and I didn't plan literally anything today. The week was crazy busy. And when it's this hot outside, my God, I don't feel like doing anything. It's kind of a problem. Dang, wasn't expecting my city to be represented talking point in tonight's chit-chat portion. The whole live stream's chit-chat portion tonight. Do you think the i3s will make a comeback? Saw a lot of players rocking them in NXL MAO. Yeah, I kind of noticed that, right? I definitely saw that. Although I at one point thought maybe it was the Axis Pro, because Dye makes the Axis Pro, which is similar to that i3. And I think it was an Aftershock guy or some pro guy, certainly had clear goggle frames. It reminded me of Brandon Short. Brandon Short forever played for the Ironman and always wore those clear goggle frames. That's probably why it stood out to me, just because I'm used to seeing him wear those things. So it's a little bit, I don't know. I don't want to say like weird seeing someone else wear them. But it's kind of like, maybe he's paying homage to Brandon. But I don't know. I probably not. I think that Dye's masks currently, the i4 and the i5, their higher end masks, are still really popular. I mean, people really, really like those things still. So I don't know. I'd probably not. I saw i3 asking prices at $150. That's a lot of money. I wore the i3 Pro for a number of years. I probably wore it in like 2007, 2008, somewhere around there. And I bet you if I put it on right now, I'd hate it. Because I've gotten so used to these masks that breathe so well. I've been wearing the ProFlex again for like 10 years, and then I've been wearing that Bunker King, not the Bunker King, the Command Zero, not the Command, the Carbon Zero mask, and that thing breathes so well. I just don't think that I would, if I put on the i3, I probably wouldn't like it because it doesn't breathe as well. So, Tyler, would you say I miss all last week? This is the first time I've been online since last week. That's got to be kind of nice. Shit. It's got to be nice. How was the watch party? Yeah, if you guys missed, there was here on YouTube. We did. Do I still have the watch party graphic here, or did I delete it? Did I delete it? Where's it at? I guess I got rid of it. Well, there's that. We'll just run that, I guess. Oh, well, that's not what I meant to do. Okay. Let's just do that. We're going to keep using Firefox. Oh man, look at, what I don't, this is, okay, bear with me for just a moment here. See how my head gets shifted over? How I'm like, every single time I turn on streaming stuff, it gets weird like that. So, hold on. I'm all over the place. This is the worst live stream we're ever going to do. I got to copy my transform preferences, and then I got to go back over here and unlock this. Then I got to paste my transform settings, and then it just goes back. It's the most annoying thing ever. But if you missed last week here on YouTube, let's actually go find it really fast. Brandon, we'll go back. Brandon with that $10 super chat. Look at that, that didn't fit really good in that box, does it? Thank you, sir. Let's just read this. Just got back into the game after about 12 years away. I'm curious about your thoughts on the future of a Field 1 company. My understanding is the Dynasty guys bought it from Bob Long. They did. About, Jesus, maybe 5 years ago now. Somewhere in there? Something about that? Maybe 5 years ago. Well, welcome back to Paintball. Not lots changed, just new stuff, new equipment. Curious about thoughts on Field 1's the future. I don't know. I mean, it's really kind of hard to say. I would say that Dynasty, the players from Dynasty, mainly Alex Frazier, Yosh Rao, those are kind of like the main guys over there. Greenspan, Ryan Greenspan, and Oliver are also, involved somewhat, but it's mainly Alex and Yosh. And they're certainly committed to the brand. I wouldn't say that they're like half-assing it or like, not doing a good job or something like that. They're certainly taking it serious. They continually have been updating the Field 1 Force, which is good. So they're like putting investment into a gun that's already been sold, which is cool. But they've only really made one thing. So it's kind of hard to say what's going to happen, they could come out with a gun and it could completely flop and they could have all kinds of problems and then it'd put them out of business for some crazy reason. Or they could come out with a brand new version of the G6R and it could be, the greatest thing ever. So I don't know, but I certainly know that like the guys are committed to it. So it's not like, I don't know, not like we'd think they were uncommitted, but they're definitely committed to it. So I think that there's at least some sort of future. Yeah. A better future, I think, than probably Bob Long could have had. Obviously, the Bob Long guns, like the Intimidators and the, Victory and the Insight and whatever, all the newer guns they had, were kind of waning in popularity. And I certainly think that if Bob Long kind of kept on this same track, maybe they could have sold some guns. But I think that Dynasty taking on the brand certainly like boosts it and gives them maybe a little bit more credibility. Maybe not a little bit more. It gives it maybe not more or less credibility. It's not like the Bob Long brand was less credible, but it makes it certainly more like cool and like mysterious and like everybody wants it a little bit more, mainly because Dynasty's involved. So I think it's all good stuff, yeah. Something like that. But last week, what were we really talking about? Last week here on the YouTube channel, let's type, let's actually go here without like opening my actual account. For any of the YouTube members, if you're a channel member on here, which is stupid that you can't see it up here still. But right there, last Thursday, we did like a push watch party. So there's, I got to mute this. We're going to get demonetized and kicked off. Yep, we just kind of hung out and watched push together. So if you're a member or you want to be a member and actually watch this thing, there's a link in the description. You can sign up to be a member. And any of the members get that. Even that supporting role member even the supporting role members. So supporting role members are $3. Then that pro tier is $10. You get a bunch of extras. But if you want, you guys can check that out below. We won't talk about members forever. What else we got here going on? Jose, I was out at the Mid-Atlantic Open for the final match. Oh, that's cool. All the players had GoPros on their masks. Should get some good footage for sure. I mean, we saw them all on like Go Sports and stuff like that. So hopefully, I know that J-Rab was talking about his, and his kept coming loose. He kept saying it was coming loose. He was on the Spick and Span show. And they were talking about it, and his kept like flopping over, which is kind of annoying. And something that I was kind of curious about too, like I've played with masks or with GoPros on my masks and stuff, and you certainly feel it. I mean, you can like just feel heavier. So I was surprised that like actually all the guys decided to wear those things. I just assumed that a ton of them would be like, I don't want to wear this. I'm not used to it. But it worked out good. Talk in the chat. Give me something to talk about. Sacramento is hellish hot right now. Dear Lord, save us. It's going to get hotter, though. It will be hotter. What's J-Rab? Was J-Rab the MVP? Yes, he was. It's just kind of crazy how, like, good he can be. And it's crazy that the Russians actually... I would go watch that, guys. If you haven't watched the Spick and Span show, or if you don't watch the Spick and Span show, I would I would go watch it. It's kind of interesting because Justin talks about how the Russian Legion gets ready for practice. They talked about how they come out a month ahead of time in Florida, and they all live at a house together in Florida for a month before the tournament. And they play 5 days a week for a month straight. So I don't think that there's any like confusion, why the Russians did so well at this tournament. I mean, if you're playing paintball literally almost every day, you're probably going to get pretty good. They're taking it what looks to be serious again. Did Malloy get the golden barrel? I thought J-Rab did. Maybe you did. I don't remember now. Now you're confusing me. Maybe not. I know they talked about... I don't know. Maybe Malloy got it then. I don't remember. One of those two guys. I don't know what the hell I was talking about. So it's just crazy how much the Russians are practicing. It's kind of crazy. I'm sweaty. Who knows? J-Rab MVP? I mean, someone can Google fast. Actually, I don't even know if you can Google that. I don't know where you'd find that information. Maybe Go Sports Facebook or the NXL Facebook. Big Daddy! I was trying to think about what to call you. Just Daddy? I don't like it. What's the best speedball gun for non-pros? I don't know. Probably the Etha 3. I'm a big Etha 3 guy. It's going to be hard for me not to say Etha 3. Supposedly G7R isn't happening until they can do it without an LPR. Really? I heard that's what Fragi said. Crazy. That's stupid. I don't like that idea. Maybe they could just do like an internal LPR. Because, I mean, one of the cool parts about those guns is they have an LPR. That's one of the things people like about the LV2 is that it's tunable, right? These other guns, you just put a tank on it and use it. You can't really like mess with the settings as much. What's so cool about the LV2 is that you can, you have the FSR stuff. You can adjust like the solenoid flow, but you can also kind of dick around with the pressures a lot more, just like the G7R. So maybe they just put it like on the inside somehow and like hide it, like the Cyborg 6, right? That's the newest Cyborg. Cyborg 6, yes, the Cyborg 6 and the LV2 both have their LPRs kind of hidden in the same spot. I don't know. I've been trying to get into paintball for 2 years now, and I just bought my first mask the other day because of you. Well, 2 years. Go have fun then. Hopefully you have a paintball gun. You need that too. Really. I mean, you need a mask more than anything. Played for the first time in 20 years over the weekend. Really, did you? Jeez whiz. Had a freaking blast at Combat Paintball Park here in SoCal. Combat. Where is Combat? Is that like Grapevine? Kind of? Like Castaic or something like that? Combat Paintball Park. Castaic, there we go. I think I've played there, but I think it was like 2002 or like 2001 or something like that. They used to have tournaments there a lot. What paintball products, Tyler asked, what paintball products have you heard that might be in development? I don't know, honestly. I don't know. I have no idea. Nothing, really. I don't know. I don't get a lot of inside information. And I kind of like it that way a little bit, because like sometimes it's like, if someone like tells me something, they're like, oh yeah, we're making this thing. And then I'm like, damn, I just don't tell anyone though. So like I can't talk about it because I don't want to like upset people or, So it's kind of better for me not to know in a way. It's kind of like the weird situation where like I feel like I like it on reviews, like when I review guns, like sometimes, I've talked to manufacturers sometimes and it's helpful, right? Because they can tell me, you know, why they used this screw size, or like, why did they move this here, you know, and like they can give me little insights. But at the same time, it's like, man, I don't know. I feel that like when I talk to them, I just feel like more, I don't know, like I have to like, I don't feel as like readily available. I don't feel like I don't not speak honestly. It makes it a little bit harder for me to say bad things or like things that I don't like. But then again, I don't really say that anyway. I don't really make videos or say a lot of weird stuff. And last week I really harped on like this, right? Like last week I really kind of went, I don't want to say hard on the NXL and hard on the ESPN announcing and all that stuff, but was really kind of critical maybe of what they did. But I just didn't like the way it sounded in that. It's all negative. So I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. Chris, who in Pro League can play 3-on-3 pump only 100 round games? Were refs checked to see 100 rounds only player per game each player? What about it? I don't know. I don't know how to answer that. I wish paint would get cheaper. $20 HK paint sounds really nice. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it seemed like we talk about that forever too. But paint has gotten cheaper. I mean, really. I mean, if we take in like inflation and like the cost of living and all that stuff, like it has, really. I mean, you know, I paid $60 for paint 20 years ago. And now I'm buying it for $60. So it's like, while it's remained the same price, I think it's at least a better value than it was. But for sure, I mean, obviously, if we could get $20 paint, that'd be great too. But I think HK's taken a loss when they're selling it for $20, or they're breaking even, because $20 is cheap. I mean, I will tell you right now that when I owned the paintball store for 7 years or whatever that was, and working at stores before and like ordering product, like, you know, all this stuff, I never ever bought paint for under $20 or near $20. It was always like 22 to 23. Yeah, that was probably the cheapest stuff. We were at probably like 23 to $23 for like $40 to $35 boxes. That's what we would sell it for. So you make like, you know, $15. Isn't it like $30 cost? Isn't it like $30 a case at cost per pallet? It just depends. I mean, like their high-end stuff, like obviously when I'm buying it for like 22 or 23, it's the lower end stuff. So it'd be like 2-star or, you know, HK's level 1 or level 2. But if we're going to like this 4-star stuff or like 5-star or like HK's exclusive or some pro tournament ball, it's dealer pricing, cost pricing for dealers is probably 34-ish, 35-ish. So you certainly make more money when you sell high-end paint. Like if you go to the paintball store, they're making more money when they sell that high-end ball, which is, I mean, it's normal. I mean, it's kind of how high-end stuff goes. But I think that HK is probably losing money selling paint, which, you know, I've thought about, and you can kind of see that as two things, right? It's like, I think HK's doing it, and if the industry did it on a whole, it might be interesting because it would be a way to make paintball cheaper. You know, one of the things that we always talk about is just how expensive paintball is. You know, you got to spend, you know, $100 to go play every day. Just like Cameron said, I pay $100 every time I play. You got to pay $100. You know, you got to buy paint, entry, and whatever. But if you could get paint down to $20, maybe it'd be $60 or $70 all day. So it's not, Matt, my voice crashed because I didn't want to yell. I like stopped myself from yelling. Matt! Yeah, if you could get it down a little cheaper, maybe it's $70 to play all day, but it's still like, you know, I mean, it's not like dramatically cheaper because someone's got to make money at some point, you know? I mean, you know, it's like me here on this YouTube. I got to make some money at some point. So if you guys don't all like this video right now, we might die. So like the live stream. Just give it a like. I know this video sucks and we're not doing anything exciting, but just help me out. It would be more helpful is if people like shared videos. Like if you're on like, you see a video you like, share it on Facebook or share it on Twitter, put it on Reddit. Yeah. Sharing stuff. Like if paint was cheaper, I'd probably just buy more paint and play more. For sure, which is good too, right? I mean, that's probably what I would do. I would assume. Is probably just play more. Abraham, $20. Yep, $20 a case just means I shoot 3 cases a day instead of 1. Pretty much. But that's good too. Yeah, like, I think it's good too. Some brains. The blanket markup was $20 profit on a case back then, unless you only bought from National Paintball Supply. I don't know. $20 is probably right. It's about average, I would say. I mean, real talk margins really probably like 38%. Paint margins probably 34%. 34 to 35, we'll say. Eric! Eric! You're awesome! That's a left-handed salute. Is the paint as fresh today as it was 20 years ago? Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's like, yeah, for sure. I mean, it depends, really. I mean, it's all over the place, but most of the time it's fresh, for sure. I mean, you're not really getting the old paint from companies. It's within like a couple months, like 2 months or whatever, and that's new. I mean, within a month and a half or 2 months is fresh. For sure. But obviously it matters. They could make a bunch and it could sit on the shelf for a long time. Or say you buy paint from A&S Gear online and A&S is buying like 40 skids at a time and it's just sitting in the warehouse. It kind of depends. That's one of the things that sucks about so many of the like paints requiring, or so many of the paintball fields requiring field paint only, is that, back in the day you could go to the paintball store and you could ask what was good. And they'd be like, that's the best stuff this week. We've had good luck with that one. And, you could try different stuff. Where now you get to the paintball field and it's like, this is what you're using. There's not like a huge option for paint. So even though we talk about it, I mean, most of, paintball fields, you're stuck with using whatever they provide. JP, Brad, what new YouTube Vita are you twerking on? I don't know what the hell that means. Big box paint was stale like that. Yeah, and I also think that like the big box stores, like the Monster Ball, or Monster Ball. What's another one? Videos. We'll talk about it. Monster Ball, I don't know. Then JT had all that FX stuff, and I don't know. But I think they make that stuff harder on purpose. So they're actually like increasing the wall thickness. So, they're doubling how thick the shell is, mainly so it'll look good on a shelf, because if it's sitting there, if you get like really good paint, right? Say you get like, say you get some of that HK tournament stuff they're selling and you let it sit for 6 months without moving, just sits on a shelf. It might look fine when you open it, but then it might have like a bunch of flat spots on it because it's been sitting for 6 months. But if the shells are super thick, it can sit for a lot longer. So I think a lot of that like box store stuff also was just really thick. The shell was just so thick that it just could sit there for a long time and kind of look good. Monster Ball Tricolors? I don't remember what that even is. True Colors. Was that like RP Sheer? Or no, that's Team Colors. They still have that actually. Zap. Yeah, I didn't really ever use Zap. I mean, I remember Zap paintballs, and Zap was around for a while. I don't really remember Zap that much. Not sure. What videos am I working on? Well, right now, like today and the last couple of days, we're doing a video titled Well, I don't know the title yet, but it's about the most important paintball tournament. The 1996 Hyperball World Championship that took place in Toulouse, France. Was it in Toulouse? No, it was not. It was in Birmingham, England. I'm sorry. And just about how that Hyperball tournament kind of like created paintball, you know, it kind of like introduced us to like a more standardized field layout with those Hyperball bunkers. And then like helped us transition to airball. So we'll see. I sold to Zap. Or did Zap sell I to I? It's crazy that I Sports, are they still around? It's just crazy. I remember them when I first started. I was like, wow, they sell like jiu-jitsu equipment. Not that you need equipment, but didn't they sell like martial arts stuff too? Is Draxis still making paint? Technically, I think there might be some Draxis paint technically still. I don't know really. I mean, because it's all Draxis was owned by Dye. It was like owned by ProCaps Direct, and then ProCaps Direct merged with this company, and then this company bought them, and then like it's so confusing. I mean, it's like 8 different companies have merged and gone away. And I bet you could probably find a Draxis logo on a box of paint somewhere. Whether it's a Draxis brand, I don't know. Freddie Beans, since you liked the Ether 3 so much, would you... Wait, hold on. Since you like the Ether 3 so much, how would you change the Ether 4 to make it an upgrade? The OP core, screen, power barrel? Probably none of those things. Because then it kind of gets expensive, right? I mean, if you add a screen to it, then you're like, I mean, then it's like, you know, more money. And then we start to get toward the, you know, 180R, and I guess toward their high-end guns. I don't know. I honestly don't. I mean, I think that gun's like almost perfect. I really don't I don't want them to change the ergonomics. I really, really like the way it feels. I mean, those guns in my hand probably feel better than any of the guns out right now. You know, I really, really like the way those guns feel in my hand. So, I don't know. I hope they don't change the ergonomics. Maybe they'd probably change the way it looks. They could update the pops on-off. Obviously, they could have a new version of the Gamma Core, like a Gamma Core 2, that maybe takes some of the OP Core stuff. Maybe it has a different bolt a little bit. But I honestly don't know. I think that Planet Eclipse probably struggles with that as well, because they built a perfect paintball gun almost. I mean, it's so good that I don't know what they could change. I mean, you start upgrading, like I said, you start changing too much, and you start to get into that territory of like the other high-end guns they have, and it starts to get even weirder. Who knows? Tyler Young, I heard dye paint was the best. I don't know. People liked it a lot. The dye CG, it stood for competition grade. Yeah. I don't know. You know, I shot that stuff, and it probably was like the old, just like all the high-end paint at the time. I don't think it was better or worse. It was definitely big. It was a little bit bigger than the other stuff too, so it was maybe a little bit closer to actual 689. It was really popular with the mag-fed players because it was a little bit bigger. The dye CG, I don't know. It was good. It came in a cool box. Dustin! Welcome. Like my JT visor. Someone commented on my cool JT visor. Have you ever used an E-Tech 5? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I owned one for a while. It was like I was like actually using one. It's not the same as an LV. It's quite a bit different, really, but I think they shoot extremely, extremely well. Like, yeah, I really liked my E-Tech 5. My only problem with my E-Tech was it was like super inefficient. So it was not very air efficient at all. Chris Martin with that $9.99. Super chat. Small fire. Oh, shit, that's right. I saw your email yesterday. I totally forgot. I meant to ask everybody about that, but I didn't talk to anybody that went to the field this weekend. I just totally forgot about that. Small fire at Capital Edge this weekend. Shed behind the airball field, which is, I think it's a house. Players grabbed hoses and ran to help. The fire department arrived quickly and extinguished it. That's good. Cool to see everyone rally, except the rentals. Wow, that's crazy. Let's show pictures of that. I'll open those. Hold on. I totally forgot that. I'm sorry. I meant to like reply to you and stuff. I just got a bunch of email. Yeah, I don't know who went out to the field. Wow. Yeah, it was definitely burning, wasn't it? How do I like save to download folders? Does that work? Fire at the field. Oh my gosh, it's freaking huge. Scaling, transform, fit to screen. Just look at that fire. That's crazy. That's a big fire. Is that the house though? Because there is a house back there. That's definitely the house that was on fire. Huh. Yeah, I don't know. That's crazy though. Huh. There we go. That's what I wanted to do. What are these people doing? They're just standing around. It's like, guys, why does it look like K? I don't know. Trying to like figure out who those people are. Yeah, that's not very good. There's certainly a house back there. Some guys used to live in that house back there. Some paintball people. Damn. Hopefully everything's okay. Thank you though for sending that over, Chris. I do appreciate it. I just forgot. Someone living there? I don't think anybody lives there right now. I'm not really 100% sure. I don't know what happened. I obviously don't know. I wasn't there. Squatters. Probably not. Yeah, I don't know. Paintball field's burning down. Schwartz just got here. What'd you miss? Oh, there's Matt. Matt? What did happen? There was another pic from the airball area. Wow. I'm sure there is. I bet people posted it. Maybe it wasn't the house, because there's definitely that shed that's like next to the house, that aluminum shed. Maybe that's what it was too. Huh. Crazy. USPN. Yeah, I was going to text people and be like, what the hell happened at the field today? But I don't know. Forgot. But it's good to know the place didn't burn down. I mean, like, Jesus Christ. I don't know what would happen if, like, it burnt down. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. If I lost my paintball field in a fire, I might just call it. I'd be like, we're good. That's all we got. Dang, that sucks. Huh. Matt, look for the picture. It's not super important, though, but it'd be cool. Chris said, we were back playing within an hour. Crazy. Yeah, it must have been that shed. It must have been the shed. Let's go look at Capital Edge, guys. We got nothing else to do. Maps. Let's go to Capital Wait a minute. Let me move. I'm going to look for something really fast. I totally forgot to... Oh, no, that's good. Bear with me. Let's see. Well, Capitol Edge Paintball Park. This is the place I go play paintball all the time. Well, you know, not all the time, but, you know, often. We'll see. Capitol Edge Paintball Park. Right there. So maybe it was like the shed. So this is what we're talking about. So was it this? It was probably that, I guess, huh? I thought that there was like something right here. "100% the shed. Tried to help until..." Is it the one that's like behind the house that we're looking at right there? 9199, whatever that address is. I can't see it. 9391. The paintball field. Yeah, so Capitol Edge, here we go, you know. This is the Hyperball 10-man field. That's probably, you know, my favorite. Yep, that's the one. Crazy. Oh, knows. That's the Mounds field. This is kind of a crazy, like, U. It's like a horseshoe. There's the shipment field with the containers. There's another kind of... This is all shipment, actually. It goes... Does it? Or does it start here? Yeah, it goes way over here. And then there's the tire. I don't know what that's called. There's a castle, attack and defend. There's a dead field. There's... I'm all confused. Okay, there's a 5-man. Airball, airball. Then they can put another airball field right here. And obviously they used to have, not obvious, but there used to be an airball field right here too. Anyway, enough of that. Bill, if I were you, 10.5, you should be good. You know what I did notice, I did see today, is that the Super 7 series... Oh, Playground, that's right. I always just want to play a 10-man hyperball field. I did see today that the Australian Super 7 series, their like major tournament series in Australia, that they're playing, not 7-man though, it used to be. It's now 5-man X-ball, just, you know, normal X-ball format. But they use 15 balls a second. And they've been using 15 for as long as I can remember. I don't think they've ever done anything other than 15. And they actually switched to 10.5 today. So it's kind of interesting that one of the things that all of these people always ask for is higher rates of fire. Everyone's like, go back to uncapped semi. And like, why don't we just use uncapped full auto? And like, 15 was way cooler. Everyone just wants to, you know, crazy rates of fire. But it's interesting that the only league in the world that was like holding on to 15 decided to get rid of it. I don't know entirely why. I think the players actually wanted it. It's a little bit cheaper, and it's a little easier to play too. Like if you watch the 15, like if you watch the Super 7s, it seems like their games are just too quick almost. And we've talked about that before. The skill level of these players has increased so much that, yeah, the skill level of these players has increased so much that playing at this 15 balls a second just does not make all that much sense to me. So going to 15 is kind of interesting. It's interesting. Super 7s, yep, the Australian, I'm pretty sure, right? Super 7s. Right? Am I not insane? I saw that earlier today. Maybe it was on Facebook that I saw it. I just looked on their Instagram. Super 7 series? Yeah, they're 10.5. Here it is. Hold on here. Whatever, we'll just open this up in here. Not a fan of full screen really either. I don't know if I'm logged into Facebook though. Yeah, I'm definitely not. Oh. Then I went full screen and now I can't like jeez. That was a mistake. How do I get someone search really fast? What's the shortcut for full screen in Firefox? Oh, maybe I got it. So what the fuck? Oh, I guess it's not full screen. It's just my like. We're all over the place today, guys. And what is this? There's like another Firefox open behind it. All hell's breaking loose. This is how what I do before the live streams. F11. So do I hold shift down or command though? Because you know I got all the like. How the hell do I use function keys? I never used them. I don't know. I don't know. It doesn't really matter anymore. Thanks, guys. So yeah, they changed it. So here's the rules. It says, this is just a graphic they made. Rules update. All divisions will now be 10.5 BPS. We have listened to feedback and seeing the trends overseas. That's what I don't get. I'm like, what did that mean? Because it's like all divisions, it's like we've listened to the players, which is great, but then they've seen what is happening overseas, like seen the trends overseas. Like what? Like when? Like, you know, we've been shooting 10.5 for like over 10 years now. So it's like, I mean, you gotta think that the PSP and like tournament paintball is like 20 years old at the current format. But like they just realized that I don't know. I thought that was funny. Times are tough for everyone, and we will always adapt to situations best suited for our players and leagues. The rule changes also bring all divisions to the same rate of fire for fairness when training as well. So people like it. I mean, this guy's like, this is fantastic. Good work. This guy's a Shaq fan. I think this is a great change. That's awesome. So people seem to like it at least. So it's interesting that they're finally, after noticing the trends overseas, just 10 years late, that, they're going to 10.5. Jake, I think 10 is a good thing because it promotes a bit more skill and allows more movement of players. Also, never been a fan of the old spray and pray with 12 and up. I'm with you. I totally agree. 100. Everything is overseas for the Aussies. That's true. Very good. I was going to say even New Zealand. Even New Zealand. I left real fast. Turning air conditioner off. How much does paint cost there? You know, I don't know. That's a good question. I'm not sure. Probably a lot. I mean, honestly. Actually, I don't know. I'm not entirely sure. I know the guns are expensive for sure. It's crazy in Australia. I mean, in Australia, you have to have a license to have a paintball gun. You have to like, it's crazy. To get a paintball gun in Australia, you have to buy a gun safe, and then you have to have the gun safe inspected. I'm pretty sure this is the order. You have to have a gun safe, and then you have to have the safe inspected, and then you get like a certificate for the safe, and then you get to go to the paintball store, and then you have to like get a permit for the paintball gun, which takes like, there's like a 4-day waiting period. You have to wait to get your gun or something like that. And then you have to like always store it in the like safe. They like treat it like a real gun. It's crazy. Something like that. So it's extremely hard to even like get a paintball gun there. It's crazy. Jake, pretty sure paint is a bit more expensive for them because it's all imported. That's what I thought. That's why I was like, it probably is because they don't make it there. But then I'm like, well, you know, we get a lot of paint from Taiwan. You know, and Taiwan's closer to Australia, right? Maybe not. I don't know. It's probably, maybe it's about the same. It's probably about the same. No, it's closer. Australia's closer than like Long Beach to Taiwan, right? Anyway, we get a ton of paint from Taiwan, and it's not like really more or less expensive either. So it's possible that they just, you know, get it from Taiwan. But Australia is expensive in general, I think. Compared to America, at least. They ship to America for free sometimes. I bought a new Sterling from there. Gun laws are trash for Aussies, though. Yeah, it's really difficult. I don't know. Now, what'd you say? I saw you something about AFPL. 13.5 at AFPL is crazy. I can't imagine 15. It's not all that much different. I mean, I don't think... I've played at all of them. I played 15... I played semi-uncapped. So this is the PSP, because the PSP used all the rate of fires. And I've played all of them. And going from semi to 15 was crazy. Because 15, like, you know, you're shooting semi. It's like, it's like all over the place. The rate of fire is all over. And you 15 is just like, it's just like, you know, crazy. But 15 to 13 is probably not huge. 15 to 10 is gnarly. It's like the video I put a video on Instagram comparing all of them. And it's hard to tell. You can't really tell that big a difference between the 12 and 15. But then you go to 10 and it's like, it's pretty funny how slow it is. And I remember going to 10 too and thinking about how slow it was. That's what it felt like. It felt like we were like, like you weren't ever going to shoot anybody. Because we were so used to, you know, 12 and a half or whatever, that 10 felt so slow. Valken is made in the U.S. Some of it is, not all of it, I don't think. I don't know where the paint's all made anymore. I don't remember. The HK stuff's made in Mexico. I know that much. Luna. What did I miss? Not much. We haven't done shit. We've just been hanging out. Nothing cool's happened. I do have the smoke machine, though. It looks cool with the light, when it goes through the light, though, right? That looks kind of neat. Nine balls a second? No, that's too low. Then you really get into that territory when you go to shoot and it feels like the gun's not shooting. Yeah. It would be fun to play 15 for like the day. I was like, maybe we should have like a Saturday. We should have like a Saturday throwback day at the paintball field where we all play like 15. That would actually be really fun. Why don't we do that? I think we should do that. We should organize a throwback day at the paintball field and everyone shoots 15. You can do 15 ramping. You can do 15 full auto. Just 15. So whatever you want, 15. Tyler? Au revoir. Matt says, just give the pros mechs. That's what I think. I mean, you know, we've gotten to the point where like these mechanical guns, I mean, they shoot just as fast as these like high-end electric guns or cheap electric guns, right? I mean, obviously, you know, you can shoot 10 balls a second with any electric gun. So it's like these mechanical guns. I mean, these guys are shooting the mechanical guns even faster than that. I'd really like to see it. I think it'd be really cool if we were just full mechanical in all the divisions almost. But it's also not good for paintball, because this paintball industry certainly thrives, and the only reason it's alive is because we have products to sell, right? If we were all using like mechanical guns and there was really never a reason to upgrade and stuff didn't change as much, no one will be able to sell stuff. Tyler, I keep saluting everybody. Thank you, sir. Gotta go. See you next week. You will. McDonald's. I'm gonna actually get McDonald's tomorrow. I'm gonna get 2 sausage egg McMuffins. I've already thought about that. I have to leave at 4:30 in the morning tomorrow. So I'm gonna get sausage egg McMuffins. Whenever I go backpacking or like I go on like bike rides and stuff in the wilderness and I like leave for a few days, I like to take, I'll normally buy 4 sausage egg McMuffins. This is a pro tip. 4 sausage egg McMuffins. I eat 2 sausage egg McMuffins and then I put 2 in a bag and then I eat them later. We have like a little lunch, sausage egg McMuffin lunch break. Any difference between the era and the idle in shot feel? Let me think about it. I mean, it's been a while. I haven't like shot them back to back to back. I haven't like shot. I gotta think about it. Yes. I mean, it's hard. It's hard though, right? Because I haven't used enough of those to have like a really good sample size. It's not like I've shot 20 idols and 20 eras and like I know exactly what all 20 of them are like. But honestly, I think that my idol had a little bit more kick and was a little bit louder than the era that I had. But, I mean, it's very, very slight. And it's not like there's a huge difference. I mean, the bolts are practically the same, so that's kind of why I don't understand why they shot any different. But I would assume that they're going to be extremely similar. But it's always difficult, right? Like, I've only got one, so it's hard to say if that one just doesn't shoot as well as another. Because, I mean, you get an O-ring that's a little bit worn out, or maybe there's a little bit more grease in one gun, or, there's just differences that can make stuff shoot a little bit different. But I really do think that my era shot a smidge better than the idol, which is odd. Has paintball tech slowed down since the mid-2010s? I feel like we're in diminishing returns here for tech. I don't know if diminishing returns is the right word. I guess, yeah, kind of is. For sure. Yeah, I mean, definitely. Yeah, no question. Maybe not. Yeah, probably 2010. I mean, maybe like 2012-ish or something like that, but I would say so. But that's not like weird. We see that in everything, no matter what it is. Headphones, headphones at some point, you don't got to buy $400 pair of headphones anymore. This light was $80, but like 7 years ago, it'd have been like $300. And, these lights aren't going to get any better. Phones, this phone, I got an iPhone 14. I don't know what the difference between this one is and the 18, whenever that comes out, but phones used to get better every week almost. So we've certainly reached like a little bit of a lull or a plateau, but that's kind of normal for a lot of stuff. So, it's very rare that stuff just gets better year after year after year after year after year. Who knows what they'll change? I mean, they can certainly get better, but I don't know how. I'm not an engineer, though, so that's also kind of why. Lick Freaks. While playing in my local field, I heard a younger player say, "Hey." No, he didn't say that. While playing in my local field, I heard a younger player say, "I just feel that older players who can't move as fast as younger players need to step away from the game as younger player talent can grow." Sure. You're 37, and I would agree with that. I mean, that's obviously just dumb. I mean, I don't know. But at some point, it kind of makes sense because obviously, I mean, I don't know if it makes sense, but that's kind of like saying that older players aren't good as younger players. And that's probably true. That's probably true in every sport, whether it's baseball or paintball or golf or whatever. The younger players are typically just going to be more athletic and uh, a little bit better. But obviously, youngers, depends on what we're talking about. Not like 14-year-olds. Ryan Greenspan's probably better than all the 14-year-olds, but he's 42, 41 or something like that. We've thought about that though. I do think about that. That's not something that and I know that a lot of the other players actually think about it too. Is that we have so many old players that are really good, and I don't think it's only been like the last couple years that we've seen a surge of really good young players. I feel like every single team in the Pro Division at least has a bunch of young good players. Like you can look down all the rosters and just be like, that guy's played for 2 years in the Pro Division and he's really good. It's hard for me to just blast off names right now, but there's a lot of good up and coming players that hopefully we see play for another 15, 10 years, just as long as the current crop of old veteran players are. Dynasty's average age is 35. Probably, yeah. I mean, they got some 40-year-olds and a bunch of 30-year-olds. So probably. I'm 40 and I'm a man. I remember, does anyone remember that? God damn it. I'm a man. I'm 40. I remember when that happened, and at the time I was like, 40, you're a man. And now I'm like, holy shit, I'm 40. It's a crazy thing. JP, Brad, how large overweight players dive into the snake with ease head first? I don't know. I don't do it, so I couldn't tell you. I'm not much of a diver myself. I'm much more of a double knee slide, lean back and shoot kind of guy. I mean, the problem with diving is really you have to go fast. You need to be running fast. So you just got to run fast. What the hell is Newton's second law? Is it all objects stay in motion or until they're hit by a truck or something like that? Big Daddy. Bro, some of those big boys just know how to move. You know what's crazy is Colt, dude. Colt Lukow from Paintball Fit. I mean, there's not been a bigger player. I was going to say bigger. There's not been a fatter player in the Pro Division ever. But he is so good, dude. So good. I mean, obviously his gun skills are insane, shooting off the break and all this stuff. But watching him move in his bunker is kind of crazy, right? It's what? He moves like an NFL player, you watch the NFL linemen and we forget that those NFL linemen are super athletes. Right? I mean, you see the guy and you're like, yeah, he's 6'7", 310. So you're like, there's no way he's that good of an athlete. But they really are, right? They just happen to be huge. Just like Colt. He's extremely quick at snap shooting and just really good at gun skills and stuff like that. So it's even these guys that are, big, you can still be a really good athlete. But at the same time, it's man, if he just if he just lost I don't know how much weight. I don't really know. Maybe 100 and something pounds. He would be insane. Insane. It'd just be crazy. But he's extremely good. I mean, their whole team's really good. They got that Chavez character playing the snake who's really good. So. Jake, well, I'm 30. Don't know if that counts as old. No. I don't know if I even count as old. It kind of matters who you ask. And I just fractured a rib in the snake. Really? Do you get like x-rays and stuff? I cracked 3 ribs right here. No, this side. Bloop, 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 bloop. Damn, did you really, dude? I mean, it was one of the worst experiences I had. I couldn't sleep for like months and like had to roll out of bed. I couldn't like sit up in bed. Yeah, it was real bad. Jeez. Gosh. Well, rest. I just remember me walking around just being like, oh. Dude, the only thing that like would take pain away is me like jamming my hand into my chest. I'm sorry, dude. It does suck. Man. I mean, I don't think I was like active for 6 months or so. There were a couple times when I like thought I could like do stuff and I'm like, yeah, I don't feel too bad. And then I'd run and be like, oh yeah. Oh, there she is. Master G Cube says I'm 41 and broke. Well, I'm 40 and broke, so hello. I'll probably be 41 and broke soon too. There's no more speedball in my area. Yeah, I hear you. I don't know what to say about that. I mean, this kind of sucks. Head first diving. Yeah, I don't know. Jake. Took an awkward dive over a snake beam and jammed my tank into my rib. Yeah, that's exactly what I thought. I assumed that. Or you landed on your arm. Because that's what I did. I got hit by a car on my bike. And like, my arm landed under my... I landed like, all my weight landed like right here. And it just went... and just like crushed my ribs. It was nice. But damn, the tank... I saw a guy break his jaw at the paintball field once with his tank. At least he didn't do that. I'd rather break a rib than a jaw. I had a girlfriend in high school, and the first time I met her mom, her jaw was wired shut. She's like, hello! It's like, hey, how's it going? It's kind of weird. Have you ever used an Immortal Air? Nope, I really have not used the Immortal Air tanks. I don't really know a ton about the Immortal Air tanks either. But it doesn't really matter the brand. If you have an 8845, really the easiest way to do that in all of these compressed air tanks. So if you have an 8845, if you times 88, if we open a calculator and we multiply 88 times 15. So you do the cubic inches times 15 if it's a 4500, and you multiply by 10 if it's a 3000. So you'd get roughly, this is a guesstimation, 1,320 shots on an 88. But it really kind of matters the gun too. You know, obviously some guns are going to be a little bit more air efficient. Yeah. So just multiply by 15 or 10, and it'll tell you like roughly how many shots. Yeah, broke sternum would be bad. Old soul. It's fun being older. Break out an old marker no one has ever seen and gogging a cocky kid with a $2,500 setup. Yeah, you could do that. I don't have any old guns, though. I want to use a slingshot. That's what I want to use. Tripping and gopher holes at Davis. Yeah. I don't know why we said that. Why? Joseph. I can't read. Yep. They have a bunch of gopher holes at Davis. They've tried all kinds of stuff, but I don't know if it's doable. Chris Martin says, I have an Immortal Air. It looks just like a First Strike Hero. The bottles? Yeah. for sure. Oh, we're talking about getting hurt. Sure. Tripping in gopher holes. Thankfully, I've never stepped in one of the gopher holes. You know, they've literally done everything out there. They've had a guy, they hired people to come out and shoot the gophers. So they had guys out there with, like, I assume 22s, just boom, boom, just shooting the gophers. They tried burning the gopher holes out, so they would blast fire in there and, like, I don't know, do something. They've tried filling the holes up. They've tried flooding the place. Nothing works. Gophers just come back. They just have gopher holes everywhere. You just got to be careful. Brandon, I will say I was surprised to see a shit ton of new people at the field this past weekend. Definitely nice to see the sport growing. That's good. I think it matters who you ask. I don't know what's happening with paintball. Delmont, has Davis tried to move? Probably not. I mean, they got that property, you know. That's like a crazy undertaking. But the property does kind of suck. I mean, it's in a weird spot. I mean, I guess it's not that bad. It's just the gophers. I mean, the gophers are the biggest problem. And they're right near a freaking blast range, so they got to shut down sometimes. I am hot. It's funny that I thought of Caddyshack too when I think of gophers. I also think of Groundhog Day. It's another movie. My DM6 with a meticulous intent chip still rips. I don't even know what that is, but dynamite. I don't know. Maybe. I mean, it might mess up the holes, but then they'd just dig more holes, you know? There's just too many gophers. It's like they're out in the middle of, like, farm country. So it's kind of like farms everywhere and there's, like, fields and stuff. So it's like you could get rid of the gophers on your property, but it's like, you know, you can't do it to, like, the whole state. It's hard. JP, $2 for farting on camera. I farted twice. There's another one. Got gas today. I'll fart all the time. I don't care. You're a bunch of dudes. It's not like there's like a lady in here who's like, this is gross. I guarantee there's not a lady in here. Guarantee. UC Davis students. I actually saw UC students, not UC Davis. I saw something on UC Davis today about that guy who, like, pepper sprayed, like, people a long time ago. Remember that? That was crazy. Dude, it's been so long since I've seen Caddyshack. Like, I don't even remember what that movie's about. Must be that McDonald's breakfast. Nope. I don't know what it is. I don't eat unhealthy. Like, what I eat today? I ate... I guess I kind of not that healthy today. I had eggs. I had a piece of sourdough bread. I had a banana. I had a big old bowl of vegetables, steamed vegetables. Some beef raviolis. Those aren't the greatest. I don't know. Davis is an agricultural UC. Certainly. That's why they're the Aggies, right? I went to Davis for a little bit there. Dude, love me some sourdough bread. Sourdough bread's so good. It's probably like the best bread. Sourdough bread? Oh, love me some sourdough. Delmont, do you think Dynasty not being on ESP recordings hurt the potential for paintball on TV? Probably not. Probably not. But I think that people would probably like... Oh, maybe it is green beans. Maybe it's the broccoli too, because I had broccoli. There weren't green beans, but they were definitely broccoli. Broccoli gives people gas too, but I don't really know. Maybe I should pay attention to that more. Maybe it does give me gas. I don't know. I don't think Dynasty's like, it will hurt the chances, right? But it's probably not like ideal, right? You think about like, the NBA or Major League Baseball or, the NFL. Like, baseball would probably rather have the Yankees. They would rather have like, the Dodgers or, basketball would like the Lakers. They would prefer those teams be in the finals or, the World Series or whatever. Just like we'd probably, for viewership, for like getting more viewers and stuff, probably want Dynasty to be in those finals. But at the same time, it's probably not going to affect the overall like thing, right? It's not like it'd be like that dramatically different. Viewer ratings and stuff. I know for sure we're going to try to pump that thing. So I'm going to try to like get as many people to watch it as well. So hopefully we can all team up and get good ratings on this thing. Because it would be really cool to see some sort of consistent paintball thing. Maybe they don't have to do that much. Maybe they just put together like 4 to 5 things a year. They just do all the tournaments and we'll have like 30-minute or an hour-long things on ESPN a couple times a year. That'd be cool. I mean, I'd be perfectly fine with that. It's certainly not bad. I mean, when was... there's never been a time in paintball where more people looking at it is a bad thing. So going on ESPN is good, for sure. Good for all of us. Whether you're a tournament player or a rec player, maybe you're a mag-fed player, whatever. Yeah, fuck the Dodgers. I don't like the Dodgers either. But, people do. They got Shohei, though. I mean, that guy's like... He's like Jesus. He's like a Japanese Jesus. Brad was the newspaper kid that wants his $2. I don't know. That might be something else. Hobart, I started rebuilding my '06 die autococker. Any good 3-way suggestions? I don't know, honestly, to tell you the truth. I don't even know. Like, who's making 3-ways that you can buy? You can buy the die 3-way, which, from my experience, the die pneumatics are probably, the newer die stuff is probably way better than it's ever been. I mean, the old die pneumatics, like, on your die cocker, I thought were terrible. Like, I didn't like those. There were all kinds of problems with those things. I think I remember those O-rings being, like, proprietary, too. On the old die 3-ways. They had those, like, weird urethane O-rings, I think. But, like Link said right there, die/free flow. So I'm going to say, like, I think that free flow is all die stuff. There's the ShockTech Bomb 3-way still. Just like RB said. And then that Inception Designs one, the Tickler. Who makes the Tickler? There was the Tickler Regulator. I mean, if I was doing it, I would probably do Inception Design. Because I'm not, like, if I was building a cocker for myself, I really wouldn't care if I had, like, huge rate of fire, right? It's not like a big deal to me. I would just want the thing to be working well and like consistent and like just good, right? And I know that the Inception Design stuff is really good. I mean, everything the Inception Design makes is really well made. So I would go with that. But the Adam and Eve tickler. Do I have a tickler around here? I don't know. No, do I have a little duster? I used to have a feather duster. That was kind of fun. That would be a little tickler. Yeah, so I would just want mine to work. But I don't know. I don't know tons about cockers anymore. It's been so long. I don't really talk about them often, ever. We used to kinda. And I don't really care. I don't like cockers. The FF20, which is the free flow RAM SMC aka LPR, is the current newly manufactured Dream Pneumatic setup. Does AKA still make like LPRs and stuff? I really have no idea. I don't even keep track of that stuff at all. What did I use? Let's see if I can find something really fast here. Paintball gun. Auto cocker. Auto cocker. Auto cocker build. Is the auto cocker build? Yeah, so I did on this channel, at one point I did like an auto cocker, an actual cocker build. I'm trying to see if I have pictures of the actual gun that I did. I don't know if I have actual photos of it. I guess not. But we're not going to run audio. That was all the stuff I used. For some reason there's an arrow in the screen right now. I guess everything's going that way. What the hell is all this stuff? Parts that I used, it's almost all Inception. So Inception Design Hammer, Inception Design UFS 3-way. Ram. It's all Meteor and Inception stuff. I don't know. I was explaining something about something. Oh, I don't know what I'm doing right there. That's what I used on that. Just because I want it to work. I have an AKA LPR on my DM3. Yeah, for sure. I remember those. The gun, I borrowed my friend Michael's Ripper for the last video I did, like illegal paintball guns, and the Ripper Intimidator he had an AKA LPR on the front. I think I might have even had an AKA. I had an AKA LPR on my Angel at one point. My Angel G7 Fly had an LPR on the front also. The brown one I had. The doo-doo brown G7 Fly. I still run mostly Arbisas. I still run mostly Cockers, and they always work and surprise people. Just got a reverse pink lady. What's that one? A reverse pink lady. Chris Williams. Consistent as always, dude. Excellent. Thank you, sir. You guys help this thing go. I've always said that, and it's very true. Super chats and likes and whatever. Everything's awesome. Everything's not awesome. Ah, that's right. Pink lady. There you go. I thought it was a Planet Eclipse gun. That's what I thought. Was it one of the E-Blade ones? It's got like that slice milling on it or something. Brad, do you like high-end guns or entry guns more? Jeez, definitely cheap ones. I mean, there's no question, for sure. Yeah, I just don't. I mean, like, back in the day, I would prefer high-end guns back in the day, but now it's like, man, these lower level entry-ish mid-range guns are so good. It just seems like a better decision. I mean, obviously it depends on how much money you have, right? If you have enough expendable income, Is that right? No. If you have a big enough discretionary fund, it doesn't matter. But like, I don't got a lot of money. So for me, it just feels crazy to buy like high-end guns when I'm personally not really using them that much. I don't have a need for a high-end gun. So I just kind of like that value, right? I mean, the value is so good in these this $500 price range that I've liked that forever. Not forever, but for a very long time. I used an axe for a long time. If I had an electric gun right now, it honestly would probably be an Etha 3. So I find that like these inexpensive guns, I prefer because it's kind of cool. It's just kind of neat that they're so inexpensive and they work so well. And nobody else is using them. You go to the tournament field and show up with an Etha 3, you're probably going to be the only guy there. And you're going to be like, you idiots. I have 4 of these. You have 1 gun. So I don't know. It just depends. It's all whatever. Andre, G1. We appreciate your content. Thank you. We appreciate you guys. We did like a G1 segment last week. Very briefly. Some brains, Raspberry Pi. Oh, I thought we were going to talk about Raspberry Pis. Damn. Raspberry Pi to pink fade instead of the other way around. Always thought it was a menstrual cycle thing. I don't know. There might not be a woman in the chat, but my girlfriend is watching this with me. Does that count? Yeah, that counts. You don't actually have to be chatting. Plus, you're watching it rewound, I think. So it's just, yeah. Maybe not. I don't know. Brad, my friend Luke said, I need a high-end gun to get all the women. I don't know which women. I mean, I guess there's more women playing paintball now and more now. I mean, you go to the paintball field, there's like a lady for every 50 guys. So they're getting in there. I mean, it used to be 1 for every 1,000. So, I mean, it's increasing. It's increasing. Chris Martin, harness suggestions. Thinking Infamous or Carbon, not crazy about my dye jetpack. Well then, I would ask you, what don't you like about the jetpack? And then I can answer that more correctly. Building a SPIMmy for fun at the moment. That's fun though. That is kind of cool. I was looking at it's like building this last video, Chris. It's like building this last video. I looked at a lot of old 2002 pictures and 2004 and stuff like that. And it's kind of funny seeing Bad Company, the Spider team. Some of their guns pop up and you're like, yeah, they're not, I don't know. There's also that time I've told this before, when I was taking pictures at an MPPL event and the Bad Company guys asked me not to take pictures of them. Because they were using all these weird guns they weren't supposed to use. Because they didn't want to use spiders, so they had all these Frankenstein spider intimidator things. Chris harness suggestions. Thinking about Infamous or Carbon. Not crazy about my... Geez, where'd that go? Oh, not crazy about my dye jetpack because it bounces. Well, you're going to experience the exact same thing with that Carbon pack. My suggestion... if you look on the channel for the kinetic paintball harness, the KMP. The video is the most advanced paintball pack or something like that. And in that video, I actually kind of demonstrate a handful of the packs, right? And how they bounce and why they jiggle around so much. And the Carbon pack is probably the worst of them all. I think the Carbon pack is the most flexy. And it's mainly just because Mainly just because, do I have a pack in here? I don't even have a pack in here. They're all outside. It's mainly just because like that elastic, the elastic, you know, on the sides is just too elasticy. So there's all that weight back there. So it just kind of like tips back really easy. And there's certainly packs that are better at like reducing that like bounce. So for sure the Infamous pack is really stable. So if you want really stable and in place, the Infamous pack is going to be one of the better ones. Definitely the Kinetic KMP from Kinetic Paintball is my favorite pack still. Let's just pull it up. Because some people probably don't know this. It's not that big of a company. Kinetic don't make a lot of stuff. They really make just a handful of products. But this is my favorite pack right now. Still that thing right there. Unfortunately, though, it's sold out on their website. Mainly because it uses such a unique belt that it's super, super secure. But like I said, if you watch that Kinetic video, it'll actually tell you. You can get different belt sizes. They have like extenders. It's a very cool pack. So I would say one of those. If you don't want one that bounces, either the Kinetic KMP or the Infamous one. The HK packs are also pretty good. Like the GX harness is brand new, and that one's really stable. Yep. I like my Infamous one, though. The one thing I don't like about the Infamous pack is because the only way they're able to make, like, you know, the pack's not tip backwards and have that, like, you know, rolling, like that jumping motion when you run. The only way they can really do that, you just got to make the pack super tight, right? And the Infamous pack and like the HK pack, they accomplish it by just having 3 belts that are really stiff. And it works, right? But they're also really stiff, so it's not as comfortable. It's a little bit harder to breathe with than some of the other packs because it's so secure. But that also makes it not like jostle around. Whereas the Kinetic pack uses this little belt, a really unique system that doesn't, you know, really inhibit my breathing at all, and it stays in place really good. So there's a promo code PBRML10 you can use if you want to buy stuff from Kinetic. You get 10% off. Jake, yeah, that's pretty normal. The field opens at 8? No, the gates open at 9. But still, it's still like an hour and a half. I don't know. So it said something. Brad, here's a topic that's been grinding my gears. I need your opinion. I live in Virginia. It's very hot. Well, son of a bitch, it's hot here too. The Pevs field opens airball at 10 or 11, and it's hot as shit outside. Is this normal? I think it depends, right? Like, we've had definitely, it depends. It's probably all random. Like, I know here in Sacramento, like, it's going to be, well, we don't really have the weekend forecast, but this weekend it's supposed to be, I mean, it's only supposed to be 111 on Saturday. So, you know, sometimes in those days, there have been some fields around here that actually open earlier too. They'll be like, get here at 6. We're going to start playing at 7. So there have been times when I've played at like 7 a.m. and stuff in the early morning. And then we try to get out of there by like 12-ish or 1 before it's like 104. But it's probably typical. I mean, like Jake said, you know, people show up and then we start playing like 2 hours later. So yeah. Zach Roots, Bobby's like, no pack is the best pack. Yeah. About some like just a 50-round hopper. Put some 10-round tubes in your pocket. That's probably too much, though. That's overkill. Just a 50-round hopper. I don't even really, like, you know, I wear a pack, but I normally shoot, like, 1 pod. Like I don't really shoot that much. So I'm not the guy out there that's just like spraying and praying all the time. I should move the. I tried to move the camera this close to the other day, but it's literally this far away. Like it's like touching the lens. The Appalachian vibe. You probably can't hear me anymore though either, because the microphone's way over there. I want the field to open up early. I'm with you. I mean, they very well may. I mean, it truly matters how hot it is. You know, like when I say it's hot here, it's fucking hot. And so I don't know. You know, I played when it was like 112 one day, and my shoe melted. It was great. This weekend though, meanwhile, talking about some of these paintball fields are actually closed this weekend. Like Davis has actually decided to close this weekend. JP, but Cali isn't humid. I'm with you on that. We don't have humidity. I know for sure. When I say 111, 110, it actually feels like 110. You know, it doesn't feel like 130 like it would if it was humid outside. And I would prefer no, like super hot, no humidity. Obviously, I think most people would. You can cook an asphalt on the asphalt in Sacramento nowadays. You know what's really crazy too is I was looking at historical temperature records because I was like, man, are we going to set like a record this week for temperatures? And I was curious. And there were 2 years, it was like 1918 and like something like that, 1912 or something like that, where it didn't get over 100 degrees here. And I was like, that's fucking crazy. And it's crazy how you can look at like the actual charts and just see that it's hotter. It's like considerably hotter here than it was even 20 or 30 years ago. It's considerably hotter. So I'm curious what it's going to be like in like, 20, 30 years. It's going to be 120 outside, which I don't know. Who knows? It's true. It doesn't matter where in California. Like, I'm going to go to Point Reyes tomorrow. It's going to be 80, though. It's going to be so hot there, which is crazy. It's going to be like 65. I do have, though, like a laser thermometer that I've been carrying around with me, measuring temperatures on surfaces. It's kind of fun. I originally got this because I wanted to do like how hot I am. The 90s. Not that warm, Not that warm. I originally got this because I wanted to try to like I was gonna try to freeze an EMEC. I was like, I want to buy a bunch of dry ice and like put the EMEC in dry ice and see if it worked. And I was like, I want to get this so I can like tell how cold it is. It's my nose. It's my nose read at. Focus! It won't focus if I'm in the screen. Whoa, I'm going to blind myself. Oh, God. Okay. Yeah, I was going to try to like freeze it and see if it would work. Then I was going to be like, check it out. It's negative 200 degrees or whatever it is. It's really fun. You guys should get one. They're really cheap. They're only like $30 on Amazon now. It's 75 on that big old piece of metal. Piece of metal is kind of cool. Totally freeze an EMAC. I might. We'll see. We're working on whole new video styles, and that style does not suit my new format. Super wide. All right, I'm gonna go. I want to go eat. I gotta go to the grocery store. We go to the post office. I gotta go. I think that's all. That's all. I have one for my wood stove to see how hot it's running. Works great. It's really kind of fun. You just go around and like take temperatures and stuff. You can take it to the paintball field and then realize the turf you're playing on is 150 degrees. And you're like, well, that's why I'm so hot. Burrito for dinner. I don't know what I'm doing for dinner or what's happening. I'm hungry though. What is Boomer's real name? What is Boomer's real name? I don't know. Boomer, what's your real name? Boomer T. Sack Roots wants to know. I know Sack Roots in real life, so it's okay to tell him. Not that I don't know. Not that it matters. Just make people nauseous. Made a burger an hour ago. Ooh, hamburgers sounds good. I haven't actually made hamburgers. I don't really have anywhere to do that, though. Seeing as I live in an apartment. I guess I could get like a George Foreman. I mean, you can make them on the stove. Is it a crime if you legally name your kid Boomer? Oh, no, it's not. I mean, what about Boomer Esiason? There were people named Boomer. Shall remain anonymous. That's fine. That's the whole point of... Maybe your name's Boomer. Boomer Tomlinson. Brad, any tips to help my excessive gas? I don't know. You gotta let them go. If you're bloated, I would do sit-ups or like act like you're like, yeah, just do sit-ups. Or if you put your like, you gotta like move the gas around. But I don't know. Gas. I think gas is normally from, I don't really know, but I feel like it's from eating food that we're not supposed to eat. Because gas is just a byproduct. It's like, it's too much like, it's like methane and like nitrogen. You're producing too much like wasting. It's too much waste. So your body's not like, I think not like efficiently processing the food, and it's like making too much gas. I think. I don't know. Okay. I'm out of here. I'm closing the chat. So I don't keep reading it. Guys, yeah, come back next Monday. We'll be doing something. And in the meantime, stay cool. You know? Don't go get heat stroke. Maybe buy yourself a laser thermometer so you can see how hot stuff is. It's kind of cool. 93 still. And in the meantime, there's another one for you. Keep it real, and we'll see you later.